Welcome in, everybody, to Wednesdays at the Wink here with Stark Media and our good friends from across the street, the University of Walsh, the Walsh Cavaliers. I'll tell you what, it's a great time to be here right now because we're here with the men's soccer team. Coach Andy Hogarth in his 8th season. You know, you guys, when you and I had a chance to talk inside of Alumni Arena just a few weeks back before the season got started, kind of talk to you about how you feel when you're preseason ranked right about the middle of the GMAC.
Yep.
And you guys just knocked off the #1 team inside of the GMAC from the preseason poll. So you guys beat Lake Erie. Before you tell us about who you brought here with you today, how has that feeling been as you guys have kind of stretched out here 4-2 on the season, 2-2 inside of the GMAC, and really kind of starting things off with what we know is all of fall sports here on the campus of Walsh University are really thriving right now, and you guys are a part of that.
Yeah, I think it was obviously going to Lake Erie, going to their facility as well as an away game, knocking them off was huge. I think you always look at that. They have a bit of a different field, it's a lot smaller than ours and whatnot, so you've got to prepare a little bit different. But I think we did a really good job of watching some film and looking at them and preparing to counter what they did well. And I think it worked in our favour, and the guys did executed what we asked them to do, and it was so it was a great performance for us.
Yeah, Wednesdays at the Wink here. TJ Downing, joined by Coach Andy Hogarth and Dom. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about your soccer history, how you got to this point here, being a Walsh Cavalier, and really where it all started for you.
Well, I've played soccer for as long as I can remember. All my family plays soccer, all my brothers and sisters. I'm originally from Middlesbrough, England, and then just when I was looking into colleges, I knew I wanted to come out to America. My brother had done the same thing. Spoke to him a little bit, recommended it. And then Andy saw me play around Christmas time before I came out here in the fall, and then spoke to him and then committed to Walsh. That's how it happened.
So tell me about your experience here on campus thus far. I mean, has it been everything you kind of imagined it would be? How you've kind of built a bond here. We're going to talk to two of your other teammates, but I know as I talked to Coach early before the season started, a mix of not only English but American players, and how that whole camaraderie on the team kind of forms and gels.
Yeah, I've loved my time at Walsh. Been a great 4 years. Met great friends from all over the world. Been some great times on and off the pitch. I've loved every minute of it. It's great time.
So we're here at the Winking Lizard at Washington Square. Make sure to stop out and see them again right across the street from Walsh University. The Cavaliers kind of thriving right now, and we're having a great time. We've done this here for, I believe this is our 3rd week, so make sure to stop out and patronize everybody here, not only locally on campus, but our good friends here at the Winking Lizard. We'll get a chance to talk with Chelsea again. I know they have their clam bake that's going to be going on. We've always been able to hear about all their different specials that they're rolling here. A great time always at Wednesdays at the Wink. Coach, tell me really about what's coming up on the horizon. I know you guys are going to have a 3-game road trip. You mentioned you having to go up there to Lake Erie. It's always a little bit tougher playing away from the confines of your own home, but when you got to not just do it one time when you go up there to play Lake Erie, now you go on a 3-game road trip, whole different story, right?
Yeah, the schedule's been a bit different this year with what the conference gave us. We've got now, like you say, three in a row on the road, and then I think we're at home for 5 in a row. So it's it's been a bit of a different year. Normally you kind of away for a week, home for a week, and alternating. But I think looking forward to it. We've got 3 big games coming up. Obviously, this week going to Kentucky Wesleyan. It's a long trip for a single game. We'll head down there Friday, about 7 hours on the bus, and hopefully get 3 points, turn around, and then we come back and prepare for Wednesday back at Tiffin. Which the benefit has been this was our bye week, so we had a full week to prepare. Which when you're going on the road for 3 in a row, having the week off prior is obviously nice. So it's definitely going to be a tough run, but I think the one thing with our group is, over the years we've always been a team who's done just as well on the road as at home.
Yeah.
I think we get a lot of support at home. We've had good crowds, but I think the guys who've got the culture where it doesn't matter where we play, they compete, and we always feel just as comfortable on the road as well.
For you, I mean, and your teammates, I mean, do you guys kind of thrive off of that energy when you go into somebody else's place and you're hearing them cheer for your opponent, and you guys are okay, it's kind of us against this entire campus, this entire university.
Yeah. Obviously, it's nice to play at home, like get your home fans out supporting you. But yeah, as you say, it's great to get that momentum away from home and get the win. It's always good.
I know a lot of student athletes here on campus that I've talked to have always said how cool it is that for whatever sporting event is going on that day. So I mean, just this past Saturday, you had you guys playing soccer, you had football earlier in the day, you had homecoming, but it always seems that the other student athletes, when there's some other sport going on, they kind of show up and support. That's got to be pretty cool for you guys too, when you look up there and know that you have a strong a student body supporting you, not only on top of that, but your home fans.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a little bit of a competition on campus, which team can be the most supportive. We did win it last year. Men's soccer were the most supportive, yeah. But yeah, definitely that's a big help. Definitely a big help.
Coach, when you look just on the early part of this season, outside of this young man right here, who have been some of the leaders that have really kind of stepped to the forefront for you that you've been able to count on, to kind of pick up that energy on the field, maybe when you guys have been trailing?
I think it's been a different year, Duncan piping as well, but I think we've had a whole group effort this year. I think every game's been a little bit different with, obviously we went to Slippery Rock, we handled that game, won 3-0 and very attacking for us. And then, against Lake Erie, I think we used 16, 17 players, and, you don't want to pick out a star performer. I think that the whole group, the culture has been really good in the whole group and led from everyone. I think we've obviously, the guys we brought today, I think Charlie's had a great year in goal so far. Dom's jumped around from midfield into the back four last game and, played well. And then obviously with Gabriel Altwell coming back from injury in the last couple of games, had his intensity. I think we've had leadership and we've had development and growth all over the field. I think from not just from the upperclassmen, but we've had some freshmen come in and do the same thing, which has been great. I think we're able to build a little bit of that culture of pushing each other and whether you're in the 11 or you're coming on off the bench, everyone's kind of supportive of each other, which has been big for how we started the year.
And you never really know what you're going to get out of freshmen, right? You've been doing this long enough to know that sometimes guys are ready to go right away. Sometimes it's going to take a little bit to learn from some of the older guys, but that's got to be pretty rewarding for you to know that you have that good mix. And does that not only, when you talk about building your culture inside of your program, but it sustains your program over the long run, because you don't have some of those gaps when maybe you have 5, 6, 7 guys that are going to graduate at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think we over the last 4 or 5 years, it's never been a year where you've looked and gone, this is a complete rebuild and we can't have success. I think we're now at the point where if we do things right, we're always going to be a competitive group and in games and then obviously develop and go forward from there. I think even with the players we've graduated, we always feel like coming in behind them and the incoming class are always going to help us continue the growth. I think that's one thing. This area can be a soccer area, right? I think with the support we see in the home games and the club soccer in the area, I think it's got potential to be a really big soccer area, and it's important we continue to grow it.
Wednesdays at the Wink here at Washington Square at the Winking Lizard. Want to shout out a couple of our other special sponsors too. Our good friends over at Huntington Bank, Altman, Bell Stores right up here. If you haven't been to the new beautiful Bell Stores up here on the corner of Easton and Market, make sure to go and check them out. Also, Cleveland Clinic, Mercy Hospitals, Kempthorne Motors, and the Sam Center. If you haven't checked out the Sam Center, make sure, if you can, give back to them. We always support our veterans here, not only on the campus of Walsh University, but at Stark Media. They give on the first and third Friday of every month over 6,000 pounds of food to veteran families in need. So make sure you get behind serving area military, the Sam Center in downtown Massillon. Dom, tell me, it was interesting when we had a chance to talk to Coach John Fankhauser from the football team. He kind of mentioned that practice schedule for them is a little bit different. Back when I played, it was always you go to school all day, go practice after school, and then wrap up afterwards, get your homework done. And by that time, it's 9, 10 o'clock. You kind of wrap it up, get ready for the next day. What does a typical day for a Walsh University men's soccer player look like? Are you guys rolling with some stuff early in the morning? Do you guys kind of do your class load early, or is it kind of spread out all throughout the day, just different things you fill in with? Kind of give everybody a little snapshot of what that looks like.
So it's usually classes in the morning. Then I'll get some lunch, and then we usually practice around 1:30, middle of the day. Practice till about 3:30, 4, depending on what we've got, and then back to the locker room, change, shower, go and eat with the boys probably in the dining hall, and then probably just homework, relax a little bit, and bed really.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing every day, but it's good. I enjoy it.
See, I wasn't sure today if I dropped football if you were going to tell me, no, wait, football's not football. We got the real football. That's ours, you know.
I mean,
I was
in America, yeah. We're in America.
right. Tell me, for you, over your entire career, what's the most exciting part of the sport when you're actually out there on the field? And I know Coach said, you know, you've kind of played in the back end, you've played at the midfield. What is the most exciting part of the game to you? What really kind of, you know, makes the hair stand up on the back of your neck, a certain part of the game?
Probably just that feeling after a win.
Yeah.
I'll definitely miss that a lot. Just when you've won a big game and you sit back and relax and you're sore, but it's all been worth it. It's probably what I'm going to miss a lot.
Talk about the contact part of the game. I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. It doesn't happen a lot throughout the entire course of a game.
Yeah.
But when you're out there matched up against a guy and you're getting that corner kick, and all of a sudden, man, heads are colliding, bodies are colliding, and you know there's no padding out there to protect you. I mean, there's some pretty physical shots out there, right?
Yeah, it can get pretty physical. It was a bit of a tough game this weekend against Tiffin. It was a bit of a battle. Yeah, it can get pretty rough. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people when they look at the game, they see, you know, when the low extremity shots that you can take. I mean, have you throughout your career, have you typically been pretty healthy? Have you ever taken a shot where it's like, man, this is I feel like I've done a little bit of damage to myself on this one?
Nah, nothing too serious from like a tackle. Luckily,
Yeah.
I've had a few kind of injuries, but nothing from like dangerous play or anything like that. Luckily, touch wood, I guess. But yeah, I've been pretty healthy.
Coach, one of the things I like, I follow you on Twitter, that you're always putting out your starting lineup and kind of look through. You've got some history with is it Akron Fire, which you guys do up there?
Akron City.
Akron City, yeah. That's tell for those that don't know about it, kind of fill us in, man. I mean, right down the street from it. You know, what's going on up there?
I saw, you know, one of the things which U.S. Soccer's obviously trying to do is look at almost following a little bit of the kind of, I guess, the Major League Baseball route, where you've got the minor league teams and the feeder teams. So, you know, you've got the Major League and the USL, and then next below that the NPSL, which is your amateur college players, and giving them a summer opportunity to keep playing, prepare ready for the college season, but also, you know, look at using it as a feeder option into the MLS and the USL at the pro level. You know, so I got the opportunity last year to take over as the head coach of that for the summer. You know, for me, it was another good learning curve. You're working with some of I think we had 4 or 5 guys who'd played in the National Championship Division 1 in the last 2 or 3 years, and obviously a local guy, Colin Byros, out of Jackson, coming off winning the national title with Syracuse last year, was a starting player for us. It's just a good way to grow the sport and provide some players with a good level to go play, and obviously provide the local community with the opportunity to watch some of the higher level soccer as well.
How can people, if they're looking not only to come here to the university and come out to your guys' matches, be able to get tickets, be able to find schedules anywhere online that you can kind of promote and let everybody know?
Yeah, I think our owner does a really good job with that. You know, Nick Turchin does a top job with the sport, and you know, he's got a very good Akron City FC website, Twitter, Instagram, all that type of stuff. You know, these guys probably know more about it than I do. I'm still not the best at the social media, but trying to do best I can. But you know, does a very good job, and you know, I think not just in Akron City, we've got that here, but you know, a lot of the other guys will still play at those level teams. The downside of me coaching it is they can't play for me in the summer, but then we try and obviously place guys with other teams in the league or throughout the country where they want to go and experience something different as well. And you know, so I think for the Akron City part, it's, you know, the AkronCityFC.com, and the Twitter is always good for tickets, or shoot me a direct message on my Twitter if they need to. We're always trying to grow that. You know, I think we had a average about, you know, anywhere from 400 to 1,000 fans last year at home games, which, you know, again, it's, for me, it's success as an individual, as a coach, but it's also about growing the game. You know, I think as you look forward is how can we make it a bigger sport in this country. And you know, I think what people don't realize is, you know, we're looking at crowds where even 1,000 people is a growth from 4 or 5 years ago. And you know, if you're looking at some of the schools in the area, you know, obviously the Akron University end up with 5,000-6,000 at home games.
Yeah.
So, so I think that's something we have to do as well, is continue to grow that with the youth. And you know, we do a lot with the guys at Walsh and get out to the, you know, local community teams and work with them. And you know, I think every week we have ball kids in from from Cannon Force and whatnot. They love to come and help us out, ball kids during the game. I think anything like that can be great, help grow the game.
I'll finish with you guys on two things here. You both can kind of answer this. Dom, I'll let you go first. So, like, your recruiting process, when you're looking at where you're going to go, and for you, Coach, when you're out there recruiting, you're talking about recruiting locally here throughout the United States, across the seas. How did that whole thing kind of pan out for you? Was it a tough process? Was it, I'm diving in here looking at, okay, who might be juniors, seniors, where I might be able to play early? How did that process look in a snapshot?
Yeah, it was kind of tough. Obviously you're getting recruited by someone in a different country, so you don't really know what you're going into, I guess. But there was a lot of English guys on the team already, so that made it a little bit easier. There was Andy, we're from the same town, so that made it easier. Nice. There was another guy on the team who was a senior at the time. He was from the same town, so that definitely helped. And just, I guess I just looked at the campus, looked at the facilities, everything looked nice, the area looked nice, and I kind of just went for it, I guess. And
you can't turn somebody down from your hometown, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's almost like you got to come here. You have no choice, right? For you, Coach, I mean, that's it seems like for me, for some that might just be recruiting locally here in the country, your job seems to be double that, right? Because you have so many more places to go, so many more players to look at, watch, film, all that stuff. Your entire breakdown, it almost seems like your course load on that is double, right?
Yeah, I think it's, from our point of view, it's trying to mix both together, right? That you want to be successful, and when I got here, we had to grow quickly, and we managed to do that. And I think now it's at the point where you're trying to make sure you've got a blend of 4 or 5 of the best local guys, and then 4 or 5 internationals, and obviously a couple of others to making up the starting kind of group, and first couple off the subs bench. So it's making sure that you're out everywhere. I think this year has been a big help to us, bringing Brian and Damien in as assistants. They're both local guys, both grew up in this area. So that obviously gives us kind of the feelers out in the local area, and then I get to I do a lot of the travel myself overseas as well. I think it can be tiring, but it's not a bad tiring, right? If you're getting to go back to the UK at Christmas time, or I was in Mexico in July, Norway, Sweden. It's not really a bad part of the job that you're traveling to different countries, and then obviously you're just trying to make the blend of overseas guys and local guys work, and I think it makes it enjoyable as well. That you're getting to know people from every different culture.
And you're bringing back great players like this.
Well, yeah, and guys from Middlesbrough, right? Well, you're always going to stick with your hometown team, right? That's
definitely.
No doubt. Well, hey, I appreciate you guys joining me here on Wednesdays at the Wink at the Washington Square. Winking Lizard, TJ Downing, Andy Hogarth, and Dom. Appreciate you guys breaking it down for me. We're going to get a chance after the break here to talk to 2 of your other teammates and really kind of dive in, and maybe we'll get some of the things about Coach that most people don't know. So you might want to sit over in the other room there. We'll try and keep it clean. We'll find out how hard you really get on those guys in practice, and maybe some of the things that they kind of pick on you about too. So I know it can be a long season. You spend so much time around each other. You learn everything about each other, and the good, the bad, and the ugly. But I'll tell you what, it's been good for you guys now as you guys are rolling along here, 4-2 on the season, rolling through the GMAC schedule, and nothing but the best of luck to you guys. All the best from us at Stark Media, and we'll continue to be here supporting you guys, following you guys, and promoting you guys as best as we can. Appreciate you guys joining us here today.
I appreciate it. It's great. Thank you.
All right, we'll be back with more after this here at the Washington Square Winking Lizard. Again, shout out to our great partners here at the Winking Lizard. We'll have a chance to talk to Chelsea and everything that they have going on here after this. So stay with us. Hang on. Welcome back into the Winking Lizard at Washington Square. I'm TJ Downing. Just had Andy Hogarth and Dom join us, and now we have 2 other players here on the Walsh men's soccer team. My guy Gabe and Charlie down there from the left of us. When we had a chance to kind of talk with Coach coming into the season about you guys were kind of right in the middle of the pack there in the GMAC, and we know that Lake Erie was preseason #1, and you guys were just able to take them down. What was that feeling after the game was over?
Yeah, I mean, we were ecstatic because obviously they were ranked really high, and like you said, we were kind of predicted not to do the best, but we obviously had high hopes for ourselves. So when you take down a giant like that, you just feel great about yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know Dom said that really like one of the best parts about soccer to him was that feeling after the win. Charlie, I mean, what was the energy like when you guys kind of regrouped and said, okay, you know, we're 4-2 on the season. We're doing things as Gabe just mentioned. You know, people can make any type of prediction they want at the beginning of the season, but when you start doing things and you guys have that confidence and belief in yourself, and you see that the work that you have put in is now producing results, it had to been pretty exciting there for at least a couple hours, and then it's back to business and on to the next one, right?
Yeah, no, we were all really buzzing with that win. Obviously, Lake Erie, one of the top teams in the country. So to beat them really did boost our confidence. And I mean, going into the rest of the season, we're looking really positive now. So, yeah.
Charlie, tell me about where you're from and kind of give us a little bit, everybody that's watching here, a little bit of a history and a background on your entire soccer career and journey to this point.
Yeah, so I'm from southeast of England. I played academy football back home all my life, basically, for the same team. And then I got released when I was 18 and started playing senior football. And then I got a text from Andy, got on the phone with Andy, and yeah, now I'm here. So really enjoying it.
For you, Gabe, tell us, everybody, where you're from. And I know you said your main goal once you threw the headset on was to throw a little shade at the goalie. So I got to hear about this, man. Take some shots, man. This is your opportunity, man. The mic is yours. The stage is yours. Throw it to him.
Nah, I'd just like to say, like, probably a standard training session for Charlie, just like take a couple goal kicks, then take a couple shots and sit in the ice bath and act like he did something. But nah, I'm just kidding. Nah, I'm from Howland, Ohio, though. It's like about an hour from here. So.
Yeah, I played some football, my form of football with a guy from Warren Howland, Doug Daddish. So I know right where you're at. How did soccer look for you growing up? And really, when did you start? What age did you start? And really, how'd you get into it? And really, how'd you fall in love with the sport?
Yeah, I think my dad instilled the love into me because he's really passionate about soccer too, and he's not from the United States either. So obviously, it's not so big around here. It's growing, but still not where it is in places like England and other European countries. So he instilled that in me, and since I was like 3 or 4, I started playing and just nonstop watching soccer, playing FIFA, just surround myself with soccer.
Yeah. So tell us, I mean, in your mind, what needs to be done around here to help grow and promote the sport more? Is there something that you see? Is it from just like a marketing standpoint? Is it getting into the youth levels? How do you think that could help the sport grow?
Yeah, I think there's definitely different aspects you can look at, but in my opinion, the biggest thing here is, like as Charlie talked about, he started playing academy when he was young, and here it's a little more difficult because I'd say there's more of a variety of sports here that kids are opened up to. So they try different things, and soccer's not really pushed that well. And also the difference between the United States and other countries is how much land area we have. So it's not as densely packed. You can't turn the corner and have 3 different clubs. Sometimes you have to travel an hour just to get to the closest club. So there's many difficulties in the youth system about finding soccer. And I think there's a lot of regulations that we have here that like limit the capabilities of allowing players to become the best they can, because there's rules in high school and even in college where you can only train so many days out of the year, which in England you don't see that, which is why the U.S. still has so much room to go before we're competing on a global level.
That's really good stuff. Charlie, kind of tell us about what you're doing school-wise, or both of you guys can kind of chime on this. What are you guys majoring in? And, you know, the difference from high school to now to your academies where you were at overseas. I mean, the course load here, what you guys are taking, do you feel what's like the biggest change to you? I know for me, when I was coming out of high school, it was like I wasn't prepared for like midterms and finals and how much weight that was on your grade, and how you can, you know, if you don't come out the blocks hot, man, you get a low GPA, you're just constantly trying to fight to build back up. What are you guys majoring in, and really how's that course load look to you guys?
I'm majoring in business management, and I mean, I took a year out of school when I left, so coming back into it was kind of tough to get used to it again.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think I'm getting used to it again now. I'd say it's pretty similar to high school back home. I mean, some classes are quite tough. I'm doing business law at the moment, so that's pretty tough at the moment. But yeah, no, I'm getting on all right with it at the moment, I think, so yeah.
it's not easy, playing a sport on campus and trying to handle the entire course load. Time management, I guess, really is really what it comes down to for you. What are you majoring in, and really what have you kind of seen the differences from coming out of Warren Howland to here?
I'm double majoring in biology and psychology, and I think like the main difference for me was the amount of time that soccer takes away at the college level is obviously a lot more, because we have an upcoming trip this weekend where we're traveling 7 hours there to play one game, 7 hours back. It's taking up 2 out of 3 days of our weekend, really, where in high school if you have an hour game, that's like really far, you know what I mean? So you have a lot more downtime, I'd say, in high school. So here you really got to figure out, how you said, how to balance the workload with your time management. And like the biology classes and science classes in college definitely get a little more in depth than they were in high school, so it's a little more challenging.
Yeah, so I'll have to open up and tell you here. I'm gonna have to admit, the only class I ever failed in college was psychology. And I tell you what, it was always so difficult, because when you had those tests, you had 4 different answers, and 3 of them looked like they were the one you wanted to choose. You could roll out one, but the other 3, it was like taking a stab in the dark.
Tough.
So I had to circle back and get that one before I could graduate. That was fun, but. Fun joining me here, Charlie and Gabe. I appreciate you guys sitting down and talking with us here at the Winking Lizard. Wednesdays at the Wink with our good friends at Walsh University, the Walsh Cavaliers. We've had a chance to talk to the men's or the women's volleyball team, football team, now the soccer team. Everybody's off to a great run here. A lot of success early on in the fall season. Again, we want to give a special shout out to our good friends here at the Winking Lizard. Also, Cleveland Clinic, Mercy Hospitals, Altman, Bell Stores, Huntington Bank, Kempthorne Motors, and the Sam Center. All right, this is your guys' free shot here. Coach is flying over with the helicopter. He's going to be kind of tuning in here now. He wants to know exactly what they must be flying him out to practice. That's how he gets from here to there, going back to get practice started. Coach has got his own chopper. This is your free shot at Coach here. You can say whatever you want. Now, I always kind of ask some of the student athletes, what are the things about coaches that most of them, they can get on you a little bit at times in practice. They can also be fun. So, what are some of the quirks of Coach, kind of the weird things he might do, some of the things you guys might pick on him about? We would always mock our coaches, kind of make fun of him, do little imitations and impersonations of him. I'm sure there's got to be a guy on the team that does that.
I'll open the floor up to Charlie here since
Go first if you want.
they're goalkeepers. So.
No, I mean, Andy's very laid back, I think. So
yeah,
it's
seems like it.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's nice at times having that. You can go talk to him whenever you want, and he's pretty chill.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, obviously, we sometimes have goalkeeping sessions with him, so it's nice to have a bit of banter with him there.
Do you guys know much of his playing background? I mean, was he a goalkeeper?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Okay.
I think he played back home at quite a decent level as well. So it's good to have that kind of relation as well. You can relate to him on that level. But yeah, Gabe, go on.
Yeah, like Charlie said, like he is really laid back, which at times is nice, because like I just had a chat with him in the office the other day after our game, so it was nice to like be able to talk about that comfortably with him. But at the same time, sometimes you need a little seriousness and a little slap in the wrist, and sometimes he's a little hesitant to give that. But I mean, he's not afraid to do it. Yesterday at training, the intensity was low. He made everyone stop, do push-ups and sit-ups. So you get some of the best of both worlds with him. So it's good.
Yeah, to me, to see leadership, it takes 2 different shapes. Some people need the rah-rah. Some people just need that calm, cool collectiveness, and everybody kind of reacts differently from it. So, your guys' team chemistry, your guys' makeup now, I know you have a decent split between English players from United States players. What's the vibe on the team like? I mean, you guys have team stuff that you'll do after a game? You guys meet up somewhere? I mean, I know Winking Lizard's always a great place to come. We'll promote that. But kind of what are some of the things you guys do as a team outside of just playing soccer?
Yeah, I think we have a pretty cohesive atmosphere, I'd say, with the team. Like a lot of times, like we all go to the dining hall together. So we'll take up half of the dining hall almost, just our own team. Then we'll all play pool after in the game room.
Nice.
Yeah, we go out to eat a lot with each other. I'd say that's one of our biggest modes of discourse, to hang out after. So it's a pretty gelling atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about that long trip you guys are getting ready to take, I mean, you're spending a lot of hours on the bus together, a lot of time around each other. I know most of the guys will say, you just listen to some music, kind of sleep. But, I'm sure when you spend that much time with somebody, you kind of know them in and out, and that's got to be pretty cool for you guys as you guys have developed and seen this team grow, right?
Yeah, like this long trip you mentioned last year, we brought a TV on the bus and an Xbox, and I spent a couple hours whooping Charlie in like 2K and FIFA and whatnot.
He wishes.
So like, yeah, even something simple like traveling, where some people might just be locked in and with their headphones, like you try and make it as fun as you can, have the time pass by.
So I was asking Dom what kind of like a snapshot looks like to him of an entire day, trying to manage class, trying to manage everything you have to do with training, preparing for your game. When you look at practice, I know you were kind of taking some shots there at Charlie about the goalkeepers. They don't have to do as much down there, but no, I understand that from the game that I played. Special units kind of over here, linemen over here, doing that stuff. What does like an in practice look like for you guys? Do you guys, Charlie, go and kind of do your own thing, and then you guys kind of regroup at the end and do like a full team, like one-on-one type of situation?
Yeah, so at the start, the keepers will split off from the outfield players, so we'll go do our own stuff, get our hands warm, do a few drills, handling drills, bit of kicking. We'll sometimes have a session with Andy as well, probably a couple times a week. And then I'd say for the last half an hour, we're going with the outfielders, do a bit of shooting, bit of shape work, just ready for the games on Wednesday or Saturday.
Yeah, I know last year I was there to call your guys' Cedarville game, and it was intense for me standing behind the goal when you were warming up, preparing to start.
Yeah.
And they're just rapid fire coming at you, man. I mean, that's intense, know. And I asked Dom about it. You can kind of chime in on us too here in a sec, Gabe. But the impact part of soccer, where that corner kick's coming in. You obviously, as a keeper, have to be prepared for anything. But there's high-end collisions and impact in soccer that most people they see it once or twice throughout. But man, when it happens, I mean, it's dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, it's a full body contact sport. I've had
not a whole lot of padding, huh?
Yeah, not much. I've like fractured my skull, broke my nose, broke my arm, all the way down to breaking my foot. Like you get everything. So, I mean, you got to prepare for it and just deal with it the best you can. I think like the biggest thing that we face is like muscle injuries, especially here in the States, how the season is so compact. We're playing almost 2 games a week, where over the seas you play 1 game a week really, so it's not as much strain on the body. So I think here that's a big issue, and so a lot of people go see our trainer Nicole, who she handles us pretty well, and she does a really good job for us.
Charlie, talk about your job as far as the angles. I mean, there's so much area for you to have to protect. Inside, is that really what it is? Just knowing the angles of watching how somebody's leg is coming through, and just I mean, you see so many people at the end of games, you're squared up and you do a shootout. I mean, is it sometimes just a crapshoot saying, okay, I'm going to guess this guy's going right, and you just hope he goes right, and he could go left?
Yeah, I mean, with penalties especially, sometimes it's just guessing work. If you haven't done your research or you haven't really got much to go off of from before the game, you are just guessing. Sometimes you can look at their technique, I guess, but I mean, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes. And then, I mean, when you're facing a shot in the game, you just try and set yourself in the best position as possible where you can stop it, either if it goes near post, far post. You're just trying to keep the ball out of the goal, basically, however you can.
Things you ever look at as far as like hips, kind of where their shoulders are at, to kind of let you know where that you think that ball is going to come off their foot?
I mean, you look at the angle of their foot, the way it's going to hit the ball, whether they're going to your left or your right. But I think you've got to kind of wait as late as possible, just so you're not guessing, and give yourself as good a chance as possible to save it.
Yeah. All right, before I get you guys out of here, Wednesdays at the Wing, TJ Downing joined by Gabe and Charlie, men's soccer team here at the Walsh University. When you think about your most favorite part of the game, when you first started playing to now, when you wake up in the morning, you think, you know what, I'm a Division II NCAA soccer player. What is the most exciting part about the game to you?
I don't know, man. I think just being on the field really just like it takes you away from reality, and you're just in your own little world playing the game, and it's just enjoyable.
Nothing else matters at that point,
exactly.
Right? What about you, Charlie?
I think, coming off what Dom said, I think after the game, winning a big game, celebrating with your mates off the pitch, that's one of the best feelings I think you can get in football or soccer.
Awesome,
Yeah.
man. Well, I appreciate you guys joining me here at the Winking Lizard. Wednesdays at the Wink with the Walsh Cavaliers, just right across from us here at Walsh University. I'll tell you what, it's a great time to be a Cavalier. Appreciate you guys joining us. Wish you nothing but the best of luck and all the best coming down the stretch. I'll be here with you guys, kind of following, support, and calling some matches for you. So we'll be out there. Always come up and say hi to you and let you know that everybody here locally is behind you and supporting you guys. So all the best to you here on this road trip. I know you guys will get it done and stay focused, stay dialed in, and appreciate you joining us here at Wednesdays on the Wing. So we'll be back with more after this. When we come back and see you again next week, I believe we're going to have the women's soccer team joining us. A lot of good things going on for them tonight. Tell you what, this afternoon, 3:30, going to take on the number 1 team in the country, Ashland, the Eagles. They're right inside of the GMAC, so should be some great stuff. Follow along. You'll be able to catch that on the Great Midwest Digital Network. Be able to check them out. Check out the ladies getting it on here with the Ashland Eagles this afternoon. So, and then follow our guys here as they get ready to take that road trip this afternoon and coming up this weekend. So a lot of great things going on campus. Make sure to follow along. Check out the mobile app. Wherever you get your apps at, you can get the Walsh Athletics app. Go there and download that. You'll be able to stay up to date on everything athletics with Walsh University. Shout out to the Walsh Cavaliers. Shout out to my girl Greenie back here, Christina Payone, Athletic Director Nate Cochran, and everybody here at the Winking Lizard. We'll be back next week. So long, everyone. Have a great one.